sweet Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What's good, YouTube? It's the TCGLover, and today we're going to do another episode of Feelings Towards the Future. Now, after looking around the Cosmo Blazar set, there was a lot of cards that were catered towards fire types, and there was one card which was catered mainly towards beasts, beast warriors, and winged beasts, all in one card. And that card is called Disorderly March. Now, before we start talking about the effect itself, which is obviously the most important part of any card, we're going to take a look at the artwork first, because there's something quite striking going on in this picture, and I think if you take a look at it now, you can actually see what's going on. But in case you didn't see it, I will talk to you about it right now. As you can see, the Manticore of Darkness, which is the big guy there, he seems to be giving the Behemoth, the King of All Animals, a good rogering. In fact, the Manticore looks a little bit like a rapist, and the Behemoth, you can look at his face, and it looks like he's like, ugh! Now, I don't mean to go into explicits, but as you can see, all the other characters in the artwork are actually basically spectating the King of All Animals getting fucked by the other beast, and it's quite a disturbing artwork, and hopefully it won't change, because it would be quite a funny topic to come up with later when it comes out of TCG. Now, we're going to focus on the effect now, because that is the most important part, rather than just animal sex. The effect is that if you control a beast, beast warrior, and or a winged beast type monster, you can draw a card for each monster type. But this turn, you cannot activate the effects of other spell and trap cards. You are essentially trading the fact that you can't use spells and traps for the rest of the turn, but in return you do get to draw cards in return for your field presence, which is very handy. Now, right off the bat, you can tell that this card seems to cater well towards a whole load of different types at once on the field. So if you have to think what decks actually use all different kinds of types, beast, beast warrior, and winged beast, because there is no way you're going to play this card unless you can get all three or at least two of them on the field at once, so then you can Pot of Greed. Okay, so let's have a think. Beasts and Beast Warriors seem to go together quite well in decks, and of course there is the Cosmo Blazar set, which has an archetype which specializes in Beasts and Beast Warriors, but I won't go into that. What we do have is stuff like TGs, which use Warwolf and Rhino, because they do seem to keep their field presence quite easily, and you can just draw off that, and they don't tend to use spell and trap cards too often unless it's something like TGEM1, which would obviously apply on your opponent's turn and doesn't really get in the way of this card. Of course, in a more competitive sense of what is competitive now, what we do know is that wind-ups, for instance, Wind-Up Rat is a beast, and Wind-Up Rabbit is a beast warrior. So being able to get Wind-Up Rat, turn it into defense mode, and put Wind-Up Rabbit back on the field, and keep them two on the field in defense mode, you can activate this card and draw two cards, which allows you to set up a defense, allows you to go into Zen Mighty, and then go off from there. And even in other semi-competitive decks like Blackwings, it's always going to be an upstart goblin, which is really, really great. But that is just three of the decks that can actually be used in. If you take a look at your deck, for instance, you will notice that your deck will probably have a beast, beast warrior, or winged beast type, unless of course you're running a very specific deck. So this card has a lot of application, quite a lot of places, which is very, very handy and very, very usable, which means it will see play, and it will fortunately be seen play for me. So all we have to do now is wait and see until what happens when this card comes out into the TCG, and how pro players and decent players make use of this card. I hope you guys enjoyed watching episode 2 of Feeling Towards the Future. Please comment, thumbs up, and subscribe, and you will see another episode coming very soon. I'm the TCGLover, and until next time, the TCGLover is out.